Hello everyone, greetings to all watching the video. I welcome you all to another episode of Convo with Apricus. Friends, our topic of discussion today is women empowerment. Does it really happen? And to throw light on this topic, we have Dr. Ruchi Ramesh with us. She is Associate Professor in the Department of Sociology, Rajkiya Kanya Mahavidyalaya in Shimla, Himachal Pradesh, India. She has more than 25 years of experience in teaching and research. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to Convo with Apricus.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I want to know what makes a woman empowered.
First of all, I'm really thankful to this platform, Convo with the Apricus. And related to this topic, first of all, I should mention that this is topic which is very close to my heart. Not because I am a woman, but because we have already ushered in 21st century. And this century can rightly be called as a century for women. So I'm really thankful for sharing this platform with me. The first question which you are asking, that is, what makes women empowered? Let me tell you one thing, that there is no single tool or there is no single measurement when we can say a particular woman is empowered, or how we can measure empowerment. But certainly there are different variables to measure this empowerment. Another thing which I would like to mention here is that there are many studies, researches, and there are many debates on the issue of empowerment. As far as empowerment is concerned, we can draw a common thread in the studies of demography, sociology, anthropology, and various other disciplines. And in that context, I can say that empowerment means, the general definition is that when there is expansion in the freedom of choices and action, that is empowerment. When we talk about women empowerment, when do we say that a particular woman is empowered? When she has the freedom to lead her life according to her choices, or according to whatever she wants to do. If she is able to do, then that woman is empowered, or that woman is powered. So empowered woman is one who can lead her life according to her will, according to her choice.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, we often hear that women needs to be empowered, but what is the reason behind it? Why should women be empowered?
It is for the very simple reason that when we say that women should be empowered, that means when we talk about the whole population, there is half the population under sky is that of the women. If because today we say that for the development, it is important that women should be involved in development. It is not development for women, but women should be in development. That means to develop half of the population that constitutes women, that should also be developed. So if we say that women should be developed, that means they should not be beneficiaries only, but they should be involved in, they should act as agents of development. So empowerment of women means to take women to development, or involve women in development, so that we can think about achieving national and international goals of development. We have MDG, we had MDGs which we were supposed to achieve by 2015, and thereafter we have SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. It is observed during MDGs that we could not achieve development because it was not inclusive. Some parts of the world, some sections of the society, they were developed, the other part and other sections were not developed. So to have inclusive development, to involve every section of the society should be involved. So it becomes very important when it comes to women. which constitutes half of the population, that women should be involved in development. So I would like to say that women should not only be beneficiaries of development, but they should be agents of development. Their involvement will not women development, but it should be women in development. That should be participatory, so that women can take action, women can take part in decision making, they can take part in policy making. That is important for women. So women should be empowered to have effective role in development.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, from a small unit such as a family to bigger units like workplaces and societies, what challenges do women face in their path of being empowered?
What I think that biggest challenge is that of when we expect stereotype behavior from women. That is, whether it is in family situation, at workplace, or at large in society. What we do, we expect set of roles from women, which are stereotype and largely regulated by patriarchy. So what is main challenge? That is, when we expect same roles, or when we expect stereotype role from women, then that is main obstacle in the development of women. Or when women move out of their homes even, then the same type of behavior is expected from women. Secondly, there is glass ceiling, what we call, where women are not allowed to go, or socially they are not accepted in certain places. For example, there is army, or if we assume that in the office, when we are entering, if there is a name plate, or there is a designation only that manager is sitting there, then we always identify some of the positions, some of the status with that of men. That means there is a glass ceiling for women. We don't expect women to act as a boss. We are not ready to accept her behavior as boss. So that is another challenge, where we need to break that glass ceiling, where we can expect women to be in all types of position, whether that is in government sector, in any professional scenario, or any other sector also. So that glass ceiling is another challenge which we find in the society. Other than that, certainly what we find, that there is a different type of occupations, or different types of professions which are attached to women. To break through all these stereotypes, then we need to upskill women, reskill women, or we can say educate women in such a way that they can give competition in any field. So that is another important issue which is there, which is still challenge in the society, and we need to break it by upskilling, reskilling, and educating women in different fields of the society, or in different sections of work.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what effect does women empowerment bring to the society? Does women empowerment has negative effects also for the society?
Basically, when we say empowerment, what I think that what women empowerment can bring to society, that is, I can use this tagline that to invest in a girl, rest she will manage. That means if we invest in girl, she can manage many things. So what she can bring to society, that is very clear, that whatever development we are expecting, or we can say positive change we are expecting in society, that change a girl or a woman can bring to society. That is important. Another thing which is really important, that is it something which can also bring negative to the society? Empowerment is something which is always positive, like development is always positive. Change can be negative or positive, but empowerment is something which is always positive. When we say positive, that means whatever changes will be there to empower women, that will always bring positivity to society or positive changes in the society. So that cannot be negative. Otherwise, it can have subjective meaning. If I say that women are empowered if they are educated, some people may say that women should not be educated because they can be aware of their rights and duties and they can retaliate in the society. That may be other aspect, but otherwise, empowerment, as far as this concept, or as far as this term goes, this is always positive. But certainly it also depends upon the perspective. How do we look at that change? For few people, what is negative, for others that may be positive. So it is something which is subjective, but for me it is value laden concept, and it empowerment is always positive, which brings positivity to society. Or if we say that we may not be able to adapt in the society when there is change, we may not accept that change in society for some period of time, but slowly when we will adapt to that change, then we will realize that the empowering of women had certainly positive effect to the society.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what is your opinion regarding the initiatives taken at the governance and administrative level for women empowerment in India?
In India, there are various policies, programs to encourage women participation in almost all the fields. If we take three major fields like education, health, and economic sector only, then we find that women are really policies and programs are in favor of women. There are gender action plans which are drawn almost in all projects and programs. We expect that whatever policies and programs government is framing in India specifically, that should be gender sensitive. Whether we talk about the gender budget, we talk about participation of women in politics, or we talk about education as such, or in any other field like labor participation, government has framed policies and programs, and legal provisions are also given in different fields. For example, in healthcare facilities, that how healthcare facilities can be discriminatory towards women. So various programs have been launched by the government, and to facilitate there are various policies for women for more economic participation, and more economic opportunities are given, more financial helps are given to women. So that is also something which is to encourage women to participate in labor force. Another thing is we say that education is tool to empower women. So as far as education is concerned, government is also taking care of that. More women should come forward for education, as it has been almost established that when it comes to primary education there is equality, and when it comes to higher education there is still sex inequality, or gender inequality rather. That is there, gender inequality is there, and to bridge that gap, dropout of women is more as compared to men. So there are various schemes which are launched by the government to retain women in the at workplace and in educational institution, so that that gap can be bridged up. So according to me, that is something which is initiated. But if these are all at India level, and when we talk about international agencies, they are also coming forward. For example, in UN Sustainable Development Goals and in a new education policy as it has been launched in India, there are special provisions which are given to women. By 2030, it has been targeted that 50% of women should be included in secondary education, and more facilities facilities and more incentives should be given to women. Another provision which is made in India, that is all about single girl child. Various facilities are given if single girl child is there, and these are all just to facilitate women to come forward in the field of education and in other spheres, in other development processes. They should come forward. So these are the initiatives which are taken by government. Various legal policies have been framed. For example, at workplace, there should not be any type of discrimination. There should not be any sexual harassment at workplace. So all types of acts and provisions are given, despite the fact that our constitution gives all sorts of equality. Still, what do we find? That socially it is not there. So to bring women in all the field, there should be ecosystem which is gender sensitive. If we will be able to develop an ecosystem where there will be no discrimination, where there will be no social barrier for women, legal provisions and constitutional provisions were always there, will always be there, but something which is socially sanctioned, that should be there. That is possible only if we develop the ecosystem which will make women more comfortable at workplace, in educational institution, or at large, I can say that more comfortable in the society as such.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm so thankful that you came here, participated in the discussion, and threw light on the topic in such a lucid manner. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.